Here's a quick video to show you guys how to take apart the brake caliper to do pads and rotors on a 02 LS430. There is two 19mm bolts right here that you need to take off. Once you take them out, the whole caliper will come off, so you should make sure you have something to tie it up with. We actually got lucky enough to where the brake line is long enough so we can set the caliper here on something. So the next thing to do to get to these pads is going to be pull this little pin here. Set that aside, and then you're going to want to basically pry this pin. You see the head here? The head has to come out this way, so we're going to push it through with a screwdriver. It really helps if you push this down and take all the tension off, because this is a spring that's pushing up on that pin. So if you compress that spring, the pin slides right out. Before you compress your pistons, you should open up your brake reservoir so the pressure has somewhere to go. The next thing you want to do is get a C-clamp and, using the old brake pad, compress the piston all the way back so we can fit the new pads and rotors in there. So you see this side has not been compressed and this side has. So both sides need to look like this compressed side. The next step is to put your rotor on. And then after you put that on, you'll mount this back up to these holes here. You'll put your caliper back on, just like so. Alright, so we left these two bolts somewhat loose. If you can tell, the caliper is still loose. But now's a good time to put your brake pads in. So they just slide in. There you go, one on each side. On the driver's side, it doesn't really matter how they're orientated because the brake pad sensor is on the passenger side. But after you put them in, you're going to want to put your... Actually, before you do that, you should take this pin out and sand it down and make it real nice and smooth. And if you've got grease, grease it up too. Alright, once you've got your pin clean enough, you'll put this bad boy here. And you'll push the pin in. Pushing down on this helps the pin slide all the way in. And you want to keep pushing the pin until it's all the way in. So once you get the pin put all the way in, don't forget to put in your little retaining pin so that pin doesn't come out. And you're good to go to crank these big bolts down, and you can throw your wheel on. Actually, before you throw the wheel on, you should grab some brake cleaner and really clean off your brakes. And the way we do it is we just spray it here and turn it while it's spraying. You want to get all this grease off of the rotor, and then you throw the wheel back on and take it out for a drive and bed the new brakes in.